Namaste dosto. Welcome to my YouTube channel called IVD Manufacturing. So today I am going to discuss on a topic called USFDA 510K pre-market notification or the 510K clearance process. So दोस्तों, what is this 510K basically? सबसे पहले हमें ये जानना कि 510K होता क्या है, हम उसको 510K क्यों बोलते हैं. So 510K is basically one of the regulatory pathway by which you can place your product, which is a medical device or the IVD, into an United States. There are other regulatory pathway also, but it depends upon the classification of the medical devices and the requirements. So दोस्तों, the first question, हम इसको 510K क्यों बोलते हैं, हम इसको 210K क्यों नहीं बोलते हैं, या हम इसको 410K क्यों नहीं बोलते हैं. तो आप सभी को सबसे पहले दिमाग में ये सोचना है कि ये 510K वर्ड आया कहाँ से, फ्रॉम वेयर इट गॉट ओरिजिनेटेड. सो दोस्तों, 510K इज बेसिकली वन ऑफ द सेक्शन विच इज ले डाउन इन द फूड एंड ड्रग कॉस्मेटिक एक्ट. ओके, सो इट मीन्स I don't have an authority to change that section by some other name. So yes, I need to say as a 510K. So I hope this is clear. चलो मैं अब आपको बेसिक समझाता हूँ कि 510K अगर आपके ऑफिस में या आपके कोई प्रीमिसेस में या आपके किसी भी रेगुलेटरी डिस्कशन की मीटिंग में अगर कोई भी आपको बोलता है कि 510K, तो आपके दिमाग में सबसे पहले क्या क्लिक होना चाहिए. सबसे पहले कि ये तो रेगुलेटरी पाथवे बाय विच यू कैन प्लेस योर मेडिकल डिवाइस, राइट. सेकेंड ये कि जो 510K होता है ना दोस्तों, सो मोस्ट ऑफ द मैन्युफैक्चर और मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द devices which is legally marketed into the United States are being governed by the 510K clearance process. So 30% of the product category have got the clearance by opting the 510K clearance processes. So इसमें क्या होता है, let's say I owe a company, I run the company which is the manufacturing of the medical devices. Now I need to place my product into an United States. So before I place my product into United States, I need to give an assurance to the local FDA of the United States that the product which I am going to place into your territory is similar to one of the product which is already legally marketed into your territory. Thus it means that my product is more or less similar to the kind of intended use, the configuration, the technology, the data pertaining to safety and performance aspects. Assuming, let's say if I take the example of my pregnancy kit, so I need to look a similar kind of devices which have a similar intended use for which I am targeting, right? So this is called as a 510K application process. I means you are giving assurance to your FDA, the USFDA. So I hope this is clear, my friends. अगर आपका जो प्रोडक्ट है, अगर वो सिमिलर प्रोडक्ट आपके यूएस में है, तो दोज आर कॉल्ड एज अ प्रेडिकेटिव डिवाइसेस. ये आपको पता होगा, लाइक यू मस्ट हैव गॉन थ्रू द इंडियन MDR 2017 सीडीएस, जहाँ पे प्रेडिकेटिव डिवाइस का डेफिनेशन दिया गया है, राइट. सो दोस्तों, अब क्वेश्चन ये आता है कि यूएस में भी देयर आर क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ मेडिकल डिवाइसेस लाइक व्हाट वी हैव इन इंडियन मार्केट, राइट. सो ये जो 510K जो क्लियरेंस प्रोसेस होता है, ये किस मेडिकल डिवाइस के ऊपर एप्लीकेबल होता है, राइट. सो नाउ आई विल लेट यू नो और आई विल मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर दोज क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ द मेडिकल डिवाइसेस एज पर द USFDA. सो माय फ्रेंड्स, द FDA have classify all medical devices which are marketed into United States into the 3 risk categories. The first one is the class 1, which is stated as a low risk devices. Class 2 are moderate risk devices. Class 3 are high risk devices. Based on the classification of the medical devices, there are different categories of the medical devices which are being laid down into this respective sections, right. So I hope this is clear, my friends. So basically This 510K submission processes is generally applied to so-called as a class 1 and the class 2 devices with a medium risk profile. Class 3 is very rare that 510K would be applicable over there. Mostly there a pre-market approval is required, which is a PMA process. That is one of the regulatory pathway. And the third regulatory pathway is the de novo wala part, right? So I hope this is clear my friends. हमने 510K के बारे में बात कर लिया, हमने क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ मेडिकल डिवाइस के बारे में बात कर लिया. अब हमें ये जानना है कि कितने टाइप्स के 510K प्रोसेसेस होते हैं. So my friends, there are mainly 3 types of 510K processes. What are those 510K processes? The first one is the traditional 510K route. The second one is the special 510K route. And the third one is the abbreviated 510K route. So दोस्तों, the first one, which is called as a traditional 510K route, it is mainly applicable for the new devices or the devices which have never been cleared into the American market, right? Or devices undergoing a significant change, that are called the traditional 510K. In the case of special 510K processes, the devices which are already legally marketed into the United States needs to go under certain revision in a form of major revision or revision in a form of minor revision. So those are categorized under the special 510K submission. Whereas in the third one, it is called as the abbreviated. So in the abbreviated, you need to show a substantial equivalence to a recognized standard, such as a special control or the guidance, rather than showing your predicated devices. So I hope this is clear. Like there are 3 types of 510K submission process: traditional, special and the abbreviated. Now my friends, the question comes, who needs this 510K certification? Why there is a requirement of 510K certification, my friends? So 510K is essentially the name of the processes or the pathway by which the medical device manufacturer can place their product into the Indian territory, right? So now let's discuss about the pathway by which we can go step by step to get the 510K certification. The first step is to find the predicate devices, or the first step is to identify the device class code, second submission type, and third the predicate devices. So in the step 1 there are 3 key action. Step 1, 1.1, identify the device class code. Step 1, 1.2, identify the submission type, I mean whether the traditional, the special or the abbreviated. And the third is to define the predicate device. So usually what happens whenever you go for the 510K application processes, it is necessary to identify the product code and the regulation number. So how you can find this? You can go on an FDA database and find the 7-digit regulation number, on the basis of which this 7 number can correlate with the intended use of your medical devices which you want to place into the United States. So I hope this is clear, like the device class code. Whereas the FDA product code is mainly 3 letters, right? This says about the product classification, the regulation description and the GMP requirements can be located using this code, right? So I hope this is clear. I already told you like what kind of submission type you need to submit and then to identify the predicate device. So this will help the USFDA database to get the information, right? The moment you find this information, now what happens? You need to prepare the 510K file. So before I go with the preparation of the 510K file or the 510K dossier, I need to help you as to how to search in the FDA database. Assuming I am going to place my medical devices, which is a pregnancy kit, into the US. So I need to go into the database and then I need to search typing the respective sections. So as you can see my screen, I have put it some values and then I got that there are almost 316 potential predicates of my pregnancy test kits which are already prevailing in the market. So you can see like there is a device name, the applicant who have filed the 510k application processes, and the 510k number. So I hope this is you are able to see my screen, right? And the decision date. So by this I got the information, right? Now what happens my friend? Then I need to prepare my 510k file as I told you earlier, right? So what happens? This 510k file includes an acceptance checklist for all the 3 types of 510k programs, right? What are the content which will be going into the 510k checklist, which include information such as indication for use, the labeling information, the substantial equivalence comparison, the proposed labeling, and the other useful information, right? So before I go deep into the third step, I am displaying a process flowchart in my backside of the screen. So you can see I have mentioned one arrow having 5 different color blocks. The first one tell you as to how to identify the product code, the regulatory classification, the submission time, and the predicate devices. So it is mentioned with a lens, like you need to search in the USFDA database. The moment you identify, then you need to prepare the 510k file, right? The moment you prepare the 510k file, you need to go with submitting the applicable fee as per the requirements. The moment you submit the fee, they will allow you to submit the application and then it will go under review, and finally you will get the certificate if everything will comply as per the requirements, right? So before you go with an payment of the FDA review fee, I need to tell you something, the most important thing. So my friends, what happened, like 510k is one of the regulatory part of it, but to get this 510k assured that it will be cleared in one single shot, what I need to do, I need to focus on my internal QMS system, which is called as a quality management system. I need to look upon, मुझे ये देखना है कि जो मेरा जो QMS system है, is it really complying with the FDA 21 CFR 820 as well as ISO 13485 requirements? If yes, then I will be more comfortable to go ahead with the 510k application processes, right? So usually what kind of information is required when compiling the 510k dossier, like such as general and safety performance requirement, which is called as GSPR, the management responsibility, how we collect the resource management, risk management, performance evaluation, the product realization, the UDI, and such as all. So I hope this is clear my friends, how we do usually, right? Now what happens, then I need to go through the fee part, right? So usually for the financial year 2023, the fee was $19,870 for which was a standard fee for the 510k. But for the business who was certified under the Center for Diagnostic and Radiological Health, the fee was $4,967, and this fee can vary like year to year or the publication basis, right? Now comes the submission of a 510k application, right? So usually what happens, this submission of 510k application require a certain kind of document which needs to be uploaded. The first one is a cover sheet. So the first 2 ingredient of the 510k commission submission is the cover sheet, right? The FDA 3601 from the medical device user free cover sheet, and FDA 3514 which is a CDRH pre-market review submission cover sheet. I hope this is clear my friends. Then the summary document. I need to prepare a summary document which comprises of cover letter, statement of indication of use, the 510K summary or the statement. Right, my friends? And similarly, then submitting the relevance document. So I hope this is clear. So what are the timelines, my friends? How it works? So usually, day 1 is a one where the FDA received the FDA 10K application. By 7 day, FDA will send the acknowledgement letter to the manufacturer, right? Or FDA will send an order letter if the unresolved issue with the user fee or e-copy is there, something kind of issue is there, right? By day 15, FDA will conduct the acceptance review, right? FDA will inform the applicant that the 510K is accepted for the substantive review or placed on the RTA hold. By day 60, FDA will conduct a substantive review, usually by day 60 usually. So FDA will communicate the substantive interaction with the application that indicates that FDA will proceed with the interactive review. So we started from day 1, day 7 पे आए, then 15, then 60 पे. By 90 क्या होता है? FDA will send the final MDRHow decision on 510K, usually which is by day 90. And by day 100, the decision is not reached by day 100, then FDA will provide the Mrs. FDA decision communication, identifying the outstanding review issue, right? So I hope this part was clear, right? But what happened? The last step, the FDA clearance and listing in FDA database is required. So the goal of the idea is to announce that the medical device user-free amendment decision is in 90 days. And at last, when a decision is made, FDA will issue a decision letter to submitter by email. Then the 510K application that received the SE decision letter is deemed to be clear. Hence, you will be granted a 510K certification. So, I hope you must have enjoyed my today's lecture. Please do like, comment, subscribe and share my channel in your network. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.